When switching from Windows to Linux, you have many choices to take. The best choice is to use Ubuntu because it is a very user-friendly distribution, especially for beginners. But when you look at Ubuntu, there are many alternatives. There is Lubuntu, Xubuntu, Kubuntu, Ubuntu Unity, Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu Budgie. There are a lot that you need to choose from. The one that I am choosing now is Lubuntu, which is I think it is the most lightweight alternative for Ubuntu if a Windows user wants to go for Linux. Also for Linux users who need a very solid distribution with all the support that Ubuntu can offer and the ease of use in its software. So today we will cover Lubuntu Lunar Lobster, and as you can see here, the wallpaper is very nice. And here we are in the installation phase of Lubuntu. So let us start first with the installation. So we have here the desktop, we have the installation here. There's also documentation if you need a documentation to the manual if you want to use Lubuntu. And we start now with the installation. So now we are here in the installer. It is the Calamares installer, a very easy to use installation. So you don't need much time to think for installation. So what you first see is the language. It is American English. So you put next. The next thing is the zone. It will take automatically the zone. But if you have a problem or you want to change the zone for if you work in many other places, you can put the region here and the zone, and it will change automatically. The language is same, English. You can change for whichever language you need. And next, here if you notice, I have inside my hard disk, I have a installation of Lubuntu 2304. So it tells me, do you want to replace this partition, or you want to erase everything, or manual partitioning? So you have the choice. So I will erase this disk. I want to replace it directly, and I can put here, let's say, no swap or swap. It depends how much space you have on your hard disk and if you need swap or not. And also you can encrypt the system. And let us continue with next. The name, I put the name Lubuntu. Login is Lubuntu. I'll put a bad password. Don't do that. And I will click next. Here it will give me the summary of how much I installed. I installed the system. It is ext4 and everything looks fine. So we start with the installation and we'll come back with the installed system. I already installed the system, so directly I will log out and log in again, and we will see how it will perform. So we're back, and now we just booted into Lubuntu 2304, and we got this update notifier, which is very good to have it. It says we need to install some security and we need to upgrade, which is excellent for new users. Directly he can know if there is some installation or some upgrade that needs to be done on the system. So let me put apply. I have to put the password. I will put this password I did. So it's downloading one of 129. So it's finished. It took some time and it finished. So it tells me upgrade finished, reboot required. So we need to reboot and we'll come back. So let me close and we'll reboot and we'll come back. Okay, so we rebooted. The first thing we will see here is that there is no access to the terminal. And there is a reason for that. They want you to not be scared if you see a terminal, because Lubuntu aims to be a replacement for Windows, and being a replacement for Windows, you don't need to have a terminal, for example, to have your tasks. It is better to have everything done in a GUI. And as you can see, the update went fine. We have an update notifier which tells me to upgrade. So far so good. Next thing, we need to see how much RAM usage we are using. So here we go to System Tools. There is HTOP. Let me click it. And it tells me I am using 484 megabytes. Sometimes it is 430. It depends how much how it starts the system, but for example it is around 430 and 500, which is extremely lightweight, bearing in mind that Windows starts with, of course, around 1 GB minimum. So we go 1 GB, etc. So it is half the RAM that Windows uses. So that's it. If you need the manual, it is here. You double click it, you go to the Firefox or to the HTML page, and you can read it online, but who reads these days? There is here the trash, network, and all of this. And if you notice here, when you right click on an icon, you can stick it to the current position or you can move it. For example, I can move this one here and I can put it here. It will go back to its position, but you can keep it here if you want. If I go here, it will go back to its original position. Also here, when I right click, there are many options, and this comes from the desktop, which is from PCMan.fm. So here you can make some changes. Let's say if you want to open in terminal, the desktop in terminal you can work with. So we found something that we can use the terminal directly. I can right click, create a new. If you want to create some folders, paste. Also show hidden. They are very old. They are, you are used to. There is a create launcher if you want a launcher to create here, or we can use the other method that we will talk about. The other method will be, for example, if I want to check, let's say the game here, I want to put it here, I directly drag it. There is no link tell me that it was already dragged, but it is like this. Notice if I click and drag, there's nothing, but if I release, it will tell me copy here, create symlink, or cancel. If I create symlink is the same as shortcut in Windows. You can create it directly here. Notice here you will have here an exclamation mark, and the exclamation mark, it will not run because you need to right click and you need to make trust this executable. Since these are installed by default, we can trust this executable to run. But you can use this one if you downloaded some executable from the internet and maybe you put it here by mistake. You need to trust this executable in order to run. So we trust it, and now this one is removed. If I move to trash, notice here the trash, it looks funny how it is empty or full. It is nice animation that we have. The next thing we need to talk about is the applications that are installed. So here, if you notice, we have Featherpad. This is the same as Notepad, so it's good. We have Calculator. We have lxqt file archiver, which is very nice because let's say if you have a zip file of, let's say, movies or music, you can double click on the file manager. You directly can extract it. Not like some applications you need to install an archiver in order to install it. So this one, it gives you directly access to your zip files or your tar files directly from the file manager, which is PCMan-FM-QT. PCMan-FM-QT is not bad, but I like the GTK version because there's a lot of spaces here for Qt, and the GUI or the I don't like it much, but it serves its purpose. If you don't like it, you can go back to GTK PCMan-FM, you install it. But this one is fine. There's no problem with it. Let us continue. Clipper is a clipboard manager. If you put it, you copy paste, you can use it. It will be directly here in the panel. Qt Pass is a password manager if you need it. There's very useful. The other one is text info, is if you have a LaTeX file and you want to open it or view it. Vim, I don't know why they put it. Vim is not for the average user, especially the Windows user, to use Vim, but they like to put Vim here. There's no problem. There is also Noble Note and PyCom. I don't know why they put PyCom also here. There's no need. It is using PyCom now, so no need to put it inside here. Noble Note, if you need to put some notes, let me put it. It gives you the location where the notes are, and you can start with the notes. Okay, so this is for the accessories. The games, there is this game 2048. I don't know why they like it, maybe because it's Qt. For the graphics, there is LX image for the viewing of images, and of course for screen grab, if you want to grab a screenshot, it's very easy, and the other one is for scanning. Internet, of course, there is very good that they have add Bluetooth device and Bluetooth file manager. It is very nice and very welcome to have this feature, especially if you have Bluetooth. You can utilize directly in order to connect and all of this. It is very handy. Firefox, of course, you'll have Firefox. This is the snap version of Firefox. Okay, so we have Firefox, and here help about the 111. So we have Mozilla Firefox Snap for Ubuntu. That's the problem with the Ubuntu, with the snaps. It is a little bit slow to open. Not much slow, but it is slow to start. There is also transmission for the torrents. The Office, they have the complete LibreOffice, which is excellent. So when you install Lubuntu, you have everything. You have an Office, you have also here a PDF viewer, you have archiver if you want to open files, let's say music files and zip files. There is games, there is a text editor, Featherpad. Here we have VLC for your videos or for your sound. And here for the system tools, we talked about also add Bluetooth. Discover also is a very nice thing to have. And they put here, if you see in the tip, they put software center. It's better to put software center and Discover, but since they used it from KDE, some people who know about KDE, they know directly that Discover is a software center. So here you have all the choices. You can search for your application by education, by accessories, by internet, and you can install whichever games, for example, here through the Discover, which is also very good. We are not using the terminal, which is the aim for Lubuntu, is not to use the terminal. Just if you want to install anything or use anything, you just directly have the choice to do that. The other thing is there's the Mu1 package manager. Of course, the Mu1 package manager, if you want to install, this is the same as the Synaptic. This is an advanced one for users who want to also install some small applications that are not available in Discover. You can use the Mu1 package manager. So it is also good to have this one. Of course, there is using Q terminal also for the terminal, and there's the drop menu, and there's also the process manager, which is fine. Let me expand it. I don't know. I see HTOP is better here because it's very small here. It's telling me, let me check here, 3.1% system memory. Use 648. We are started now at 648, but I think HTOP is better, but they included it, I think, because it is also a Qt application process manager. There's no problem. And the preferences, we have the additional drivers. If you have some additional drivers, you did not have them, you can fix them here. Also the network, there's also the apply full upgrade, which is here. I preferred something maybe to put here, but since they have a notifier, there's no problem. KDE system settings, I don't know why they put this one here. The appearance is not working here. The applications, you can check if a certain, let's say for a certain image, let's say for this EMF file, what is the file that will be by default. It's good to have it, by the way. And there's also the setting for the network. And the other one is OpenBox settings. The OpenBox settings, of course, it is the opconf, but it is the Qt version. Not all the time you see a Qt version of opconf, but here you can, because it is lxqt, it is OpenBox. It has OpenBox by default. You can use the appearance, you can use the font if you want to raise the font. Let me raise the fonts here. For example, you can raise the fonts, menu headers, etc. from here. There's also the windows, the desktops. There are 4 desktops. As you can see, there are 4. If you increase it by 5, you will see that we have 5 desktops around here. And for the margins, you can change the margins as I told you for the dock also. Since it is open box, you cannot right click here in order to get the menu, although you can change the menu.xml if you need extra menus and extra shortcuts. Let's say you put control F1, you get a menu, a customized menu that you need. You can do that also if you know a little bit about OpenBox. Here we don't have, they used to have something here to get directly. If you right click, you will get only the OpenBox menu, but we don't have it here anymore. But you can change the wallpaper and change everything in the desktop through this one. There's the printers also, printer support and the screensaver, and there's also software sources. So let me show you the software sources. Here you can check all the repos that are included, and authentication and the drivers if you have some extra drivers you want to install, or proprietary drivers that are in use. Another thing is the lxqt session. It is very helpful. Of course, first it is the version of lxqt is 1.2. The Lubuntu 22 was at 0.17, which was awful, because starting from lxqt 1.0 there have many changes, especially in the power management, in the panel, and many other software that are included. So this session was very good. This Lubuntu 23.04, it made a lot of changes, as you have noticed. It increased a little bit the RAM, but there is no problem. It is fine, and I think it is very great. The appearance, if we look at the appearance, here we have the appearance. This is the LX appearance Qt style, LX appearance Qt. You have the widget, the icon theme. You can change look how many icon themes you can change. Not much, but you can change here whatever you like. There's also the lxqt theme that is available here. For the font, you can change the font, the cursor. This is the lxqt. There's the brightness, also the power management. Here, if you have a problem with your monitor, you can directly go here, or if you come here directly, you press monitor, it has a search button, you can directly get it from here. Another thing is the session setting. The session setting is very important. For the case, if I spoke about it before, because this is lxqt, it is OpenBox by default. If you want, you can change here the window manager. Let's say you installed i3, or you installed the IceWM, like sudo apt install IceWM. You will see IceWM here, so you can change it from here. So directly when you log into lxqt, you will directly have the IceWM for the window manager, etc. Also, what is very popular nowadays is for lxqt to include kwin. And since now we have a lot of KDE inside here, we can use kwin, and it will give you a big boost for your productivity, especially by using kwin. If you like kwin and you like the customization and the theming that is available with kwin, but OpenBox is fine if you know about OpenBox. These are the user directories, and there's also the environments that are involved. Of course, the shortcut keys, these are the shortcut keys that are from lxqt, not from OpenBox. So you can change some things here, and in OpenBox it will not be changed. This one is in the default. You can remove all of them if you want, if you rely directly on OpenBox in the rc.xml, which is found, of course, if you open here. I press Ctrl H to go to the hidden files, .config, OpenBox, and this is the rc.xml that I am talking about. This one you can put all your keyboard shortcuts inside, but since here you can utilize here all the things that are available in the global, so you can check these two and check if there is something that may be in conflict with each other. So you can get it from here, the shortcut keys. That's basically it. The only thing that I want to talk about is the panel. The panel is nice. It has a lot of features, and for example here we have this one. This is the application launcher. These 1 2 3 4 5 is called, it's a widget. This is a widget, which is application menu. This one is a desktop switcher. These two are for it is a widget which quick launch, and also these things. How to get them? I right click here, you will get configure task manager, or no, you go to configure panel here, and inside the widgets you have the application menu that I talked about, desktop switcher. There is the quick launch, show desktop, which is here, this blue one. This one is only for the quick launcher, this one for the show desktop. There's the task manager, which is available here, all the programs, removable media, volume control, system tray, status notifier, and word clock. For the quick launcher, what you can do is, if you need a program, you need to put it in the quick launcher. For example, if I want Firefox, let's say, I go to the internet, Firefox, I press the left button and drag it directly here, and I leave it. I will have also Firefox. If you want the Firefox here, what you can do is you right click and move left. So you will get these two. If you need another one, you can put also another one and another one, another one. This is for the quick launch. Of course, for the desktop switcher, you can increase the desktops or increase them using opconf or the OpenBox settings. And these the others also. If I go back to configure panel, there is the styling here. You can put it left and bottom of desktop, or maybe you can put them on the top of desktop. If you like it like this, there's no problem, but it's better to keep it in the bottom. Or maybe it's better, let me keep it on the top of there. Another thing is, if I want to add another panel, for example, if I want to add another panel, I can add another panel. It tells me, where do you want this panel? Of course, let me say I want it on left and the bottom, no problem. But a special kind of one you need to make, for example. Let's say I want to make it, length is 50%. Okay. And I want it to be in the center. So it is like this. Okay. So this one, for example, you want it like this. And of course, if in the styling, you can make a background color and you make it so it will be hidden. But the main thing to do it is like this. For example, let's say I want a file here. Let me put Firefox here, for example. Or let me put first we need to put a quick launcher. I need to put a quick launcher first. Add widget, quick launcher. Okay, close. So drop applications icons here. So what we can do now is you go to, let's say, Firefox, you drag it, put it here, it will be Firefox here. Another thing, let's say I want LibreOffice Math, I'll put it here next to it. So I have another one here. If you want, we can put another one, let's say maybe Etchtop, put it here. Let me put it on System Tools, Etchtop, put it also here. And if you want to change these better, what we can do is I right click, manage widgets, you go to the style, to the placement here, and what you can do is you can increase the size here, increase the size, let's say 54, and also the icon size. So when you increase, and later on it will move like this. You can increase how many that you want in order to make it. For example, here I want the size to be like this, for example. That's another idea. And what we talked about also is you can make a opacity 0. So now you have it like this. It's not like blank, but it is useful, and you can have this option, a panel and another panel. And of course, this one you can put it on this side, you can put it on this side, you can put it whatever you want. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about the panel is if I right click and I want to manage widgets, there is another option. For example, there is many other options you can pick. One of them is the command, custom command. Okay, let's say I want to add a widget, custom command. It is put here, no problem. Let me move it. I can move it here, for example. And later I will go to this custom command. I go to settings here. And here, for example, instead of echo configure, for example, so you can put a script and give you an item, maybe a success, failure. If there's some file that is available, it will say yes, it is available. Many other things. I will put a simple script that you can use if you like. Let's say I can go, for example, 2 plus 2, for example. 2 plus 2, it will give me 2 plus 2 because it is not a calculator. It gives me directly a string. For example, if I use BC, if you notice, BC I already spoke about in the earlier videos when we want to calculate pi. So if I use echo 2 plus 2 BC, it will give me the number 4. So here you can put whatever script that you like, maybe the weather, maybe some calculation in your files so that you can put them here. It is up to you. So this custom command, you can use it in lxqt starting from 1.0. Of course, we are now in lxqt 1.2, so we can use this one. And as you can see, Lubuntu is extremely helpful in many other things, and many of the things that we use, we did not use any terminal, and which is fine. In the end, Lubuntu Lunar Lobster is a very big step to have a complete Windows replacement for those who are on Windows and want to change into a suitable Linux distribution. It is very easy to use. There are a lot of things that can do things done. There is also Office, there is upgrade, there is the software center is available. Many things are included that will assist us in working things out. One thing also I did not mention is the search bar, which is Super R. In Windows, Super R goes inside the run. And here, when I press Super R, there is something called the runner, which is available in KDE. You can search, for example, for Firefox and give me, and directly I can also have it. They don't give it here. You cannot find it in these, but you need to read the manual to learn about this one, how we can use it. Fortunately for me, I know about it. So you press Super R in order to access this one also. Very interesting distribution, very well thought of. All the things are straightforward, no need for any help to guide you in many other things. But we'll see also Ubuntu, and we'll check if Ubuntu or Lubuntu is better for you if you want to switch from Windows to Linux, or if you want to try this lightweight alternative distro. Thank you, and we will be back tomorrow with another video.